I also wanted to address this question, and I get this question all the time. And it's in reference to my wife, my spouse, who died from alcohol use disorder a little over 4 years ago. And really, the matter of the question is, uh, did I, was it a relief when my wife died? And to be honest with you, unless you've been there, it's really hard to understand this. But obviously, yeah, it was. It was the craziness of probably the last 7 or 8 years of her life that escalated as time went on. No matter how many rehabs she went, how many outpatients she went to, how many emergency hospital stays, how many inpatient hospital stays, none of it really mattered. And there are some people that they're just, you can't help them, you can't get them to fruition is the best way to say it, and they just can't be reached, and the disease is taken over for a number of different reasons. So the bottom line is love the person, but don't love the disease. So let's talk about this a little further. And really, to be honest with you, I think a lot of the pieces and questions and misunderstandings will really come together and be pieced together when the book comes out in September. And it'd be easier to have a broader view and an understanding, of the whole story. And the whole story was, we were the best of friends. When I first met her, she was a very dynamic person. She was the top salesperson in our office. We sold healthcare, and eventually we had our own brokerage for many, many years. We worked for many companies, and we did very well, and we had a really wonderful life. And then, because of the stress at night, I think she had the tendency to reward herself with alcohol at the end of every day. And those glasses of wine turned into bottles, and they turned into bigger bottles, and then it turned into anything she could get her hands on. And then eventually she had legal problems, and it really became a mess the last few years. Um, it was a tragedy. It's an absolute Shakespearean tragedy, unfortunately, but it's something that we can learn from. And the reason why I talk about this in such depth, because I don't want other people to have to go down the same road. And if they can learn from this experience, I know they can. I know a lot of people have. And if you understand what I'm trying to get done, really from the bottom of my heart, it will make sense. And I'm waiting. It'll be exciting when I can bring it all together when the book does come out. On that note, when she did pass away, I think some of our mourning, my son and I, we tended to, really give all her stuff away. All her clothes ended up we donated them to the Betty Ford Clinic, which is one of the clinics that she went to in Palm Desert. She also went to Michael's house. But I had a friend that was at Betty Ford at the time, and she had, a truckload of clothes, and we donated them to the women that were at the Betty Ford Clinic. A lot of them, are in bad situations, and they were very appreciative because there's so many people there that need clothes and shoes and all kinds of things. She had a lot of jewelry and a lot of Kate Spade bags, and we sold those, and a lot of the money I gave to other rehab facilities. Her car, she had a BMW X5. I actually donated that to Kids for Cars. So really, anything that she had, we donated it to help really this cause of alcoholism and alcohol use disorder. And really talking about this story in depth and talking about my relationship with Weiss and her eventual passing a little over 4 years ago, this is just the beginning. There's a lot of other aspects I want to do. I really like to change the understanding that society has for drinking, really have a different perspective. And I think we need to separate people who do get DUIs from alcohol. I think it's very important that if someone does get a DUI, they have two DUIs, they should have a designation on their driver's license so that we can no longer sell them alcohol. As a husband, it was just absolutely exasperating not to be able to separate her from the alcohol because there was nothing helping me. I mean, you could have it delivered to your house. I mean, it was just so easy and accessible to get alcohol. And as families, that's absolutely unbelievably frustrating. So I definitely would like to get legislation in the next few years, and that's really where I'm headed towards. And I want this story to get bigger and bigger and bigger, so that can come to fruition in future. And again, if you have a family member or someone, or yourself, if you're suffering from alcohol use disorder, I have a complete coaching program. It's really designed for people who are ready to change their life. I like to take the family and the alcoholic, and really make it grow. Okay, make people accountable and educate people so that everybody is working together rather than tearing families apart. Also, please like, share, and comment. We also have a Facebook group called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, which has become a very good support group. And again, thanks for listening.